It doesn't have sugar in it, it's just water. Okay. We used to have a saying in our family with kids, it's only water. It was only water allowed in the car. And so when they throw it, it's only water. Okay, all right, we'll let it evaporate. Yeah, just spread it around. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. We're going to start with our statement of, we're going to proclaim and declare who we really are with this. And this is what I use to remind myself when I get that thinking that's not in my best interest. So let's go ahead. If you don't have the paper, I'll say it and we can repeat it, okay? I am a child of the divine.
I am a child of the divine.
I am wonderfully made.
I am wonderfully made.
I am connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe.
I am connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe.
I give myself permission
I give myself permission
and allow myself to be prosperous
and allow myself to be prosperous
and have a successful, meaningful life with myself, others, and the divine. I am at peace with myself and my environment. And enjoy the great opportunities for my prosperity on a daily basis. Yes, I do.
So be it.
Yes. And so it is. Come in, come in.
And so it is.
All right, we don't have anybody new. Okay.
Improv practice center.
Yes, it really is. I know it's all good for me. Gary and I talked about the night that there were so many things going on. Anybody remember that night? There was just stuff everywhere. And he says, oh, I'm really sorry. And I said, don't be, because I needed to know I could handle it. You know, all of that was in divine order, just meant for me. So I need to say something that I gave a talk about words. And I made a statement of who I really am. And I realized that, you know, we talk about what blocks our prosperity, what hinders things. Well, I did not include that God supplies all my needs according to His riches and glory. And I know that was a subconscious way to continue blocking that prosperity for myself. So I'm saying that in front of all of you. I'm believing it, I'm knowing it, and thank you for letting me say it out loud. Saying it to myself was not enough. I need to just say it out loud to other people. Yes, God supplies all my needs according to His riches and glory. And we know how rich He is. Our Father's very wealthy. So, but that has been a thing for me that I didn't want to say those words, evidently, or I would have said them that night. So that's been staying with me, and when things stay with me, it's time to do it. Let it, release it, and bless it. And Danny, I have something to say to you. I've said this before. And Jana too. I was telling Gary how much your experiences are blessing me. And you sharing last week, working with him at the spirit level, really blessed me. So I learned this from a teacher I had in California. I bless you. I bless the situation. And I am blessed as a witness to this situation.
That's powerful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That really says it all. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Last week we were talking about, Gary and I talked about when I saw him. I guess I must have missed. When he was talking last week, remember we had the chart? And I brought it, just in case. this chart, so we talked about this one, has anybody been doing any work with this? Has anybody had any thoughts about this?
Well, as I wanted to.
Well, I was hoping somebody did because I had
really-
questions for him
I had
tonight.
a whole lot of, I really had challenges with following that. And I
Okay,
don't know if I have blockages that I'm blocking, I don't know, but I really, that was a difficult one for me.
sometimes when he gives me new information, not always, but in the past, the 3 magic words in the past, stuff like this, I'm exposed to it, but I need more practice to take it in. Scott, do you have anything to add to this? It helped me when we were talking about it, that I could see, well, about money, it's a personal experience, or,
Yeah, my experience with it was, money is also my blockage. I'm an international expert on 2 different fields, and I'm poor. And show me
in the
any-
past.
in the past. Yeah. I'm working on my prosperity into the future, and things have been getting better considerably. It's just, and that helped kind of quantify it for me. I was kind of a little bit unfocused in the other stuff and not being specific enough. When we did that, that seemed to bring it into focus a little bit better for me, and I'm still working on it now.
Okay. Is anybody writing in their prosperity book or journal, whatever you want to call it?
I have a
Adding
little bitty
things
book.
or, okay, go ahead and share.
Well,
Cecile?
I have a little book and it says on the front, your dreams, and I've had it a long time and I have a good bit in it that has come true. And so I did put some more things in it.
Okay. As a result of, these were thoughts that you kept, or things in your heart or your spirit?
Well, I'm
Kept
trying
talking
to
to you?
define what I really want, is what I
Okay.
use that for, to be a little more definite.
Excellent, because he talks about specifics. Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay, as far as my experience with this goes, when I came in to see him one-on-one, he pretty much nailed it. He said, out of these 4 categories, you keep going to number 1, time, number 2, relationships. He kept telling me that, which nailed it. Those are the 2 things that I struggle with the most. And then out of time, or out of relationships, he said, let's go to wealth. Relationship with yourself, relationship with other, relationship with things. Well, I knew the answer, and then he proceeded to tell me, yes, you were struggling with your relationship with others. And so we just kind of went, and it was like a way to narrow things down. We can all, use a little bit more direction, but he was encouraging me to, during my meditation, try to focus on that and narrow it down for myself. Where did I need to work more to fulfill my prosperity circle? And then, like you said, kind of put that in your meditation, in your journal, whatever it might be, to focus on it more if you know where you're lacking. If you don't know, well, then I guess we can start back at the beginning again. But that's kind of how he guided me through it.
I know for me this week, the wealth, this is very interesting to me. He said, do a lot of work with your mother in the circle, forgiving her and praising her.
Right.
Because my mother,
I was similar.
God bless her, taught a lot about lack.
Yeah, mine was
She
very
really-
similar. Yeah.
We really lived with us.
Yep.
You want to call it the
Still
spirit of
hearing
lack,
it.
whatever you want to call it. It
Yeah.
was in residence at our home.
And
On
it
a
never
constant
grows
basis.
on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
That's so true for those of us whose parents lived through the Depression.
Absolutely, yes.
The other is we have to work hard for it. You have to really work
Yeah,
hard.
that's
so hard.
Work smart.
The lack wasn't a problem in my family. They never, talked about lack.
Yeah.
We always knew that we were blessed and had, but there was always that, you have to work hard now. You have to work hard.
Yes, of a perfect example, just one of that. Our father built a house in the mountains, and he literally named this house. There's a sign as you drive into the driveway, Hardway Hill. I mean, if that isn't proclaiming how you want your life to be, and his life was hard, it was hard. But that was his declaration, life is hard, and I'm even showing everybody, this is my philosophy. Go ahead, Ruth.
Dr. Berman told me that I need to ask for more. That Spirit wants me to have more than I have asked for.
Wow. That's exciting.
What do you mean, Ruthie? That he said, ask for more. Whatever it is that you put your goal, you need to go beyond that, ask for more.
Yeah.
And once you're excited about that, then everything you're dealing with right now is gonna work itself through.
Yeah.
So ask for more and get excited. Get ready, Betty Boy.
Yeah. That's good. Why not? You know, we deserve it.
All that God has is.
It's all there for
Yeah.
us. Some of us didn't know this, but it's all there waiting for us, you know? It's already done for us. We're the ones that have been taught to hesitate. Yes.
So you asked if we were writing in our prosperity book, and I have a large group of people that I want in my prosperity circle, and by the time I get going, I go through all of those and add them in every day. It's like, oh, I need to go get on the train, and I haven't had my shower yet or whatever. So I asked Dr. Berman, could I just like call them Group X or my group? And he said, call them Group X and write all the names down in your prosperity book and say, this is Group X, and they always go in my circle. And that way, people that, and these are his words, people that are really annoying you during the day, you just add them into group. You start with Group X and you just add them, and that way you don't either go back to sleep or get lost in your thoughts or whatever, and you can get through your meditation without saying, I can't get anywhere because I'm just talking about these people who are important to me that I want to be in the circle.
It's a great idea, because it is about efficiency. We're not supposed to be bogged down by this. You know, we're supposed to get it done, you know.
Streamline the
Dr. Berman probably has done that with many of us throughout the years. He says, you know, taught statement A or B or C or whatever. And I thought, wow, because I had some things that were so long. And I thought, wow, by the time I get through all that, I'll be dozed off. But he says, no, you can. You know, this is your statement A. It could be for business or for relationships or whatever. You know, these. And I think after you do it, initially, I used to want to repeat everything and say everything and almost like have it memorized, but it takes a lot of time. By the time I get through my entire list, you know, it's an hour. So now we're gonna have to shorten it, but we can. You can give it a sign. You know, this is A or B or whatever. Give it a letter.
Yeah, he really is into it.
Once you've done it,
Way to do
several
this.
times, it becomes a part of you. You may not think it is, but it is already. It's a part of it. It's in your consciousness.
Yes,
But
that's a great idea.
But it was important that I write it in the prosperity book.
Yes, oh yeah, anytime I write things down, I am teaching ESL students, and we have I was telling Gary how interesting, I've been able to share some of these things that I've learned, and it's one of our things is I would like to, teaching I would, and so I have them write them down, their dream job, write it down, circle it, you know, and I can share without being preaching to anybody. It's just an idea and say it's worked for me in the past, and they're all receptive to it. Nobody's given me any static at all about it. And I'm teaching language and ideas and all kinds of things at the same time. So that's been a real gift for me to pass on to other people. Okay, anybody having anything going on since we've gone to the throne room? Is I was telling Jana that I am dreaming. The minute my eyes close, I'm dreaming. It's like and it isn't anything particularly monumental. It isn't scary. It's just, I could take a 15-minute nap and it would be full of dreams, which is a brand new experience for me.
Well, after that last session, we were woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by a friend that called, and then I could not go back to sleep. I was like wide awake. But when you start going back to sleep at some point, it was kind of like I wasn't asleep, I was asleep, and I was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you feel like you're falling into something, but it was like I was falling into a timeline kind of like, when you're following the timeline. And it was very intense, and then I was like, wide awake the whole night. I just.
I was, too.
Where's
It was like,
Yeah.
Are you awake?
It-
Well, I am now.
no, it wasn't because of
Yeah,
that, no.
No, you were doing the same thing?
It was bizarre. It was like a very
Oh, okay.
sudden, like a pull, like a, kind of like a magnetic pull, and it was like a timeline. And then I have also had vivid dreams. And I didn't used to dream at all, like.
Me too, that's the interesting part of this. I was in therapy and he'd say, you don't dream? I'd say, nothing. There's just nothing going on. There is now. Making up for lost time. Okay, so do we have any more? Yes.
Do you want me to share a story?
Yes.
I would love for you to share a story.
Okay. Okay, I didn't get to the throne room in here, but I went and saw Gary and I got to the throne room there and felt changed after that, okay? My husband and I are getting a business together with a lot of different elements, like therapy, personal training, wellness, nutrition, and we wanted to have a name that fit all of that and that really stood for us, even though maybe a name and a logo isn't like the most important thing. It was really important to him. Okay, so I've been struggling with this, struggling. Finally, I just gave it over and said, Spirit, God, divine, help, tell me the name. Whenever you tell me, I'm taking it, I'm going to run with it. I'm listening, because I have a tendency to want to take over. So I sit down at the computer and I feel inspired. I'm like, okay, well, let me look up Hawaiian stuff, because he's Hawaiian. So I started looking up things and I said, I have criteria though with this Hawaiian stuff. It has to be pronounceable. I mean,
Oh,
because
good.
that stuff, and then,
Smart.
it has to be pronounceable and you have to spell it. So I go through all these words and I find 2 words that are significant to me, but they're not presented to me together on a page that's like almost like a dictionary, and I just pick 2 words. And one is mana, and it means like supernatural power, really a lot of strength. Another word was koa, and it means like warrior or soldier. So I'm thinking supernatural power warrior. So he's always, a warrior to me is something as an idea where you stand up for what you believe in always. You fight to the end of what you believe in, which we have a lot of causes to fight for. And you just never give up. And that's what he's always telling me, never give up, never give up. So I'm thinking this is really cool, Manakoa Wellness. All right. So I'm telling him, and I tell him, and he says, not only does he not argue with me, he looks at me and he says, that's it. Thank you for thinking of that. Like, was so grateful the instant it came out of my mouth. And I'm like, okay, because I was very quiet and I was like, what do you think about this? So then I was like, well, let me see what this means. So I looked it up on the internet, and there's one entry, and it's an actual thing. Manakoa is an ideology that is based, it's a lifestyle based on positive vibration,
There you go.
family, and spirit. That's like the definition of Manakoa. And I was like, oh my gosh, Spirit told me, so I have to go with this. Like I said I would, I have to go with it, right? I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, so that's what I told you, I'm working on it. So then the second part of the struggle was the logo. The person was supposed to draw this and get back to me, blah, blah. So I just voiced Demi, which is my sister, who's an artist, but she's young, and I didn't know. So I just said, whatever, I'm going to trust Spirit. I'm just going to call her. She goes, yeah, I just took a class in drawing logos. She drew me a logo in 1 hour. And that's it. It's perfect.
That's
It's
God's
exactly
energy
what
at
I
work,
wanted.
you know.
And it's like I just had all this reservation, and I was trying to control it and not let Spirit come into my life when Spirit wanted to come into my life. So I'm listening. So anyway,
Perfect example. Thank you. This is the coolest group. We just are here for each other in so many different ways and at the right times and in the right circumstances. And I feel like I want to bless you too, because that really, I know I'm going to start a business, and I know it's time to get my butt off the chair and get out the door. And I need names, and so that's as powerful as what you shared last week. So if you don't mind,
to me.
I bless you, I bless the situation, and I am blessed as a witness to this situation. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's really, really,
Remember Reverend John Webster, those of you who do Reverend John Webster used to always say, be careful of what you put out there and ask the universe, be careful of what you ask the universe for. Because it's willing to give it to you.
it'll show up,
It'll
yes,
show up somewhere.
absolutely, Jen.
Well, while we're at it, so, you know, I'm probably about a week or so not working with my other venture that I had and just staying patient through it. It's a family business, so I'm just waiting for that meeting to meet with my brother. So it's about a week and a half of staying in the vortex, you know, and just being confident that they're just taking care of everything so that they don't need me. So that's a beautiful thing. And I also came up with a name, and you know, my first reaction is I'm a businesswoman, I shouldn't say it out loud, but I want everybody to bless this.
Good for you.
So I'm gonna be the spirit agent, and so I'm gonna help holistic people in our field grow their businesses. And yeah, so of course this is my first, well, I already have a proven case study, a couple of them, but this one in the holistic field, so.
I'm on.
So yeah, so the spirit agent is me, so if anyone.
It's time, it's absolutely time,
Yes.
very, that's exciting for all of us. It is time
Let me
for
know
all
if I
of
can
us.
help.
Yeah. We will, we have.
It feels like we progressed from a class to a community.
Absolutely, that's the best word to call it, yeah. Because everybody contributes in the community, and everybody lifts each other up, and that's exactly what we're doing. Roger.
Sandra, for all these wonderful ladies that are starting their own business, I strongly recommend a movie called The Intern with Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it already, yes.
Right?
It just came out.
Yes.
It's also good for old guys like me that are retired. But the point is that that's an excellent lesson in that movie. And it's a very rare movie because it doesn't have any of the normal stuff in it that movies have to be popular. You know, it has all the good things. It's just, it's a very, very high frequency, high vibration movie.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
It's excellent. It really shows the generations, and it's beautifully done, beautifully done.
I have something to share. You were talking earlier about, you know, the definition of your dream job. Well, Dr. Berman had me do that, and this was quite a while ago. And I just started my new job about 2 weeks ago. And so I was looking on the computer, and I came across that description, and it was exactly what my job was.
Oh, exciting.
It was just what it was.
I have a daughter who, in her 30s, realized how to manifest things. And she has a job that gives her freedom for her family. She's making a good living. Her bosses loved her so much, they bought a building a mile from her house and redid it, made it into her office. I mean, she's been an incredible example of putting it out there and receiving it. Believing, knowing it's going to happen, and then receiving it. That's real exciting. I know for me, Gary, I was facilitating a few in charges, real trigger words for me, because I thought I was in charge of the world once.
And you weren't?
Yeah, it wore me out. I had to give it over. Yeah. It was exhausting. But anyway, I'm about to lose my train of thought. Oh, I know what it was. He usually says, well, let's go have fun. You know, and I think, go have fun at your job? I want to be able to do that someday. And so he was talking about one time when I had taken the class and facilitated, and he said, thanked me, and I said, oh, we had a lot of fun. And that just jumped out of my mouth, and I thought, I'm on my way. It's not Hardway Hill, it's a lot of fun. So I guess this is a night where we just talk and express, spirit expressing. We'll call it that, spirit expressing. Because we're all...
train.
Yes, yes.
Spirit express.
It's not the distance, it's the rise.
All right. Anybody else? If not, it's 8 o'clock already. We may leave early tonight. Anything else on anybody's heart and their spirit? Yes, Lee.
I had an interesting situation on Sunday, and I talked to Gary about this because I'd completely forgotten. We had an appointment at noon on Tuesday. I was in the ER at the time. I had fallen, and I fell on my right side and split my head open, and it was just a mess. And as I was talking to him, I called Mary and said, I'm so sorry I missed my appointment. I was in the ER because I wanted to make sure I didn't break any bones. And he was talking to me and he said, you know, I was scanning you that day and you were so deep in spirit for a long time, and then you immediately went to your brain. And he gave me the time, and that's right when I fell.
Wow. Interesting, isn't it?
Learning how to move gracefully
Yes.
among the realms
And not
is,
snap out of it.
right,
With ease and grace.
yes, is an important thing.
Wow. You know, it's quite an adventure we're having. I consider this an adventure of the very best kind. Okay, if there's nothing else to share, we'll go ahead and get into our, you can bring your magic bowls.
I did not, but since you mentioned that, and Gary, when I saw him on Tuesday, he brought it up that he liked the idea, and so of course he went to scan all the sounds to find out what he thought would help get us into spirit quickly, and he said the sounds of water came up first. So of course the Tibetan bowls are great, and there's a lot of.
But that's why you spilled the water to begin the class.
Yes, getting us in the mood, yes.
And I was blessed to take my part.
Oh, good. Eric, how long did you need it? Oh, I can't tell you, it's very spiritual, I just know it. So you can just turn it off, I guess, one more thing? Yes, he did talk about those sounds, but I tell you, last week was one of the most powerful experiences I've had, that I just was so elevated as a result of that. I had to remember I was doing this, I just wanted to float out there somewhere.
In the last 4 or 5 years.
It was incredible. Okay.
In college with these books, they jump off the shelf, jump off.
All right, any more questions or comments?
It was there in my house.
I have a request. My sister fell a week and a half ago. Hurt both knees and her wrist. One knee she just had operated on. Hit her head, banged up her face, had a concussion and a skull fracture. So her name is Sarah. She seems to be making a lot of progress, yes. She's a very busy, on-the-go person, minimum amount of sleep, hits the ground running, so to speak. This time hit the ground. So prayers for her for healing. She's sleeping a lot. She said that's just part of
Post-concussive syndrome.
Yeah. Pardon?
Part of post-concussive syndrome is sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
But
It's so unlike her. It's totally.
well, she's gotta go with it, or she will make herself worse.
Well, that's what we're all saying to her. So, and I think she finally got that message. It's her quiet time.
One of my areas of expertise is I'm a medical expert witness in million-dollar trials, and one of the things we talk about a lot is post-concussive syndrome and how it affects your life in the long term. And one of the things you don't do is you don't fight it and try and push yourself back to where you were, because you just make it far worse. What she needs to do is relax and then start going back slowly into what she does, or else she's gonna crash.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, call me. I'll be happy to help her.
I think that will just it's not me telling her, it's somebody else said it
And you
so
can give
that.
her you can give her my number. Again,
Sure.
I'm a practicing physician, so that might get it through her head if that
Yes.
helps.
Thank you so much.
It takes so much biological energy to heal. It's no wonder she wants to sleep. She needs lots and lots of protein
Okay. Has that
and water.
and water.
Actually, this was my first experience in these past 6 weeks coming, and it's been really very delightful. But I actually had been writing a lot a few years ago, and the writing was pretty good, but I sort of forgot all about it. When I came to the class here on the second night, and I was meditating, and lo and behold, I found some of my writing. And I started to read it. I said, gee, this is very, very good. I mean, for me, this has happened so many years, you can now look at it more objectively. And at that point, my nephew, who had also been involved with me, so he actually called me almost at the same time saying, gee, let's get back to doing the book as we were doing. And I said, it's a great idea. And we've been doing it. But the other night, again, I found a whole box of other writing. And it was, I mean, it's phenomenal since I've come here. I'm finding all these writings that I had forgotten I even did, you know? And I'm thrilled about it, you know? Of course, it's hard to get it published. It's not that easy, but...
Okay, take that away.
It's about the writing and what it
In the
does for
past.
your
That's
energy.
true.
In the past.
Not hard.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yes,
It's
it's
not-
not
I'm
about
thrilled because I had given up all hope. And it's just coming right at me, you know, all these writings, and there they are.
It's easy for her to self-publish.
Yes, that's really wonderful. That is wonderful. It's all in perfect time.
Yes.
It's all in perfect time.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Okay.
When we're putting out some prayers, I'd like to put out a request for prayers and good energy sent to my sister Minerva, who's she's had a double mastectomy and she's having some more surgery on the 23rd of this month. She's doing very well thus far, but she needs some more surgery, and it's on the 23rd. So I have to go down there because usually she calls me after she's home. She needs me.
Here come the prayer requests. Okay. I'll tell you, let's do it this way, if you're willing. Let's put those people in these chairs.
Yes.
And you know, if they're not willing, they won't show up. It's all up to them. It's up to their spirit. So we'll put people in those chairs, and we will include them. So I have my sister Sarah. I have our son Doug, who's knowing he's got to let go of his career. He's, you know how you get to the point where this is not me anymore, this isn't working for me, and he's really struggling with letting go and moving on to what he really wants. So they're in 2 chairs there. So who else?
My
Minerva
great
is
niece,
yes.
my great niece who has all kinds of holes in her heart. She's 7 months old, and they're working on it, and she's got some complications right now.
I see her whole, perfect and complete. That's the other thing about this, is look at those people with those words.
I got one. My 82-year-old mother walks the neighborhood on a regular basis, but when she went next door to borrow an egg, she fell in the grass, and it ripped her meniscus. And so she's had some injections, and I've been giving her all sorts of stuff in the health food store. But anyway, she's doing a lot better, but I'd still like to put her in there.
Of course, put her in a chair.
I have a lifetime friend. Her name is Shirley, and she has a lot of complications with her body and her mind, and is really very unfunctional. And I just want to see her whole.
I do too.
And really, and I spent about 5 hours with her one day, and I have written to her. She can't really hear real well, and on the text, and I haven't gotten a reply, and so I really would like to intensify the energy for her.
Let's just all put who we need in the circle at the right time, because if we all went through 3 or 4 names, and we'll think of somebody else too.
Yeah, just add them. Spirit's
Just
gonna know
meditation be
to put them in there,
for those
yes.
we love.
Can we put our own member Larry? He's been injured and he's flat on his back, and Berman's been working with him daily, and he'd asked me specifically if we could put him.
It's right there. Of course we will.
What happened?
Leg issues.
Those are diagnoses, they're not outcomes. That's how I see it. There's a difference in how you look at it. Okay, so let's get comfortable. We have lots of people to include, lots of healing. Move the chairs, do whatever you need to do, start your breathing, whatever works for you. It'll take a minute or so to breathe, to get into that place. Everyone we've mentioned is included in this room if they are willing. Dr. Berman also asked, and Ruthie told me to pray for, to meditate for harmony on this planet, in this city. Everywhere we look, there seems to be discontent, and we've signed up for this, and so we're going to seek harmony throughout the planet, especially in those hot spots. We begin by giving permission and allowing Spirit, allowing that support that we know. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, angels, celestial beings, whatever form of support that you know and believe is there for you. We are asking and giving permission at this time. We are accepting their help because our desire is to achieve our purpose and our destiny on this planet. We are going to create our prosperity circle, including all those people, places, and things, including ourselves, all those situations that appear to be for us or against us in that prosperity circle. And we know that no one is left out. Spirit is helping us to include every person, place, and thing that we are blessing, that is being healed, that we are filling with God's breath, God's energy. Remember for ourselves that we are feeling God's energy coming through our head, going throughout our entire body, down through our feet, grounding us in the earth, as well as in the heavens, as well as our highest place. Feel the energy of God in yourself, and everything that you have included in that circle. See the energy of harmony in that circle. Praise everyone, including yourself. Forgive anyone. Praise and forgiveness praise, and forgiveness. The all-powerful energy of God is working in us and through us, in them and through them, for us and for them. God's breath, God's energy is permeating everything. You see God's energy giving us and then enthusiasm for who we all really are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please forgive me. I forgive you. No one has been forgotten in this circle. Everyone is intended to be there as self. Relax and just breathe God's breath. Breathe God's energy. Relax into God's energy and God's love. You are God's energy. You are God's love. Before you asked, it was already done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. We are truly blessed.
So it is. And so we let it be. When you are ready, feel your toes, feel your fingers. Open your eyes and return to this place in this time.
Ida, would you be willing to close for us tonight?